You know that we love a list. And this week we're diving into Time 100's most influential people of 2025. There are some names we love, some we loathe, and then Blake Lively. So
She's
let's
just
get
there.
into it.
It ends and begins with her. Can I just say about this list and this whole operation in general? There's such, I've overused this word, gravitas to the Time 100. Like, you make the Time 100. You're one of the most 100 influential people. Then you click on the person, and like Snoop Dogg is on this list, and it's a blurb from Hoda Kotb that literally ends with, "Do I think Uncle Snoop is the legit top dog for 2025? Faux shizzle." Like, is that journalism? What? Also, I'm sorry, why Snoop Dogg this year? I mean, like, she doesn't really get into it. I watched him work his mellow magic at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. Okay, so did Celine Dion. Okay, athletes and audiences couldn't get enough of his joyful spirit. I'll never forget when gymnast Simone Biles and Jordan Childs spotted the USA's hype man grooving in stands and joined him. So this is about because he was at the Olympics? Interesting.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the Time 100 list. Magazines are dead or dying.
Right.
And they don't have a lot of money. And at this point, it is sponsorships and parties that celebrities attend that keep things afloat. And basically, Time Magazine is kept afloat by the Time 100. There's this big party that happens every year that celebrities attend, and then you get other celebrities to write a blurb for another celebrity, etc. And I think what it comes down to is obviously you're creating the list, but you're obviously also thinking, who can we put on the cover to be honored at this event and ensure that they will come?
Got it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
They got to make the money. I understand that. There are some like very legitimate options here. I mean, you've got Adam Scott as the star of, now maybe the most beloved drama on television. And I have to say, we were sort of in the market for a new beloved drama on television. I felt like after Succession, it was kind of like, wait, why do we love television again? We had Shogun. That was a good moment, but
Not by us, though.
I know. I didn't even watch Succession. No, you got to have the cast has to be like 75% female if I'm going to watch it. Like, I'm watching the Dying for Sex show right now.
That's you didn't watch Succession. That's sick.
I watched the last episode.
Because first of all, half the men on that cast are female coded.
Okay, moving on. They needed one more sister in the family. That's it. I'm sorry. Alan Ruck could have been a woman. Sorry. But also on this list, we have Nicole Scherzinger, who I have to tell you, among pop culture queries to ponder in 2025, I still really do not know if she is going to win that Tony. If it's going to be her or Audra. I'm seeing Audra and Gypsy in the next couple of weeks, too. If I'm a voter, I am really torn. And I don't think people should be influenced by the fact that Audra has 6 Tonys. That's not what the contest is about. It's about who deserves it the most. And I think still, I want Nicole to take it just because I don't think anybody ever thought about the musical Sunset Boulevard before. You have to see it. And this, you have to see, and it's because of her.
Yeah, listen, I walk around hearing Nicole Scherzinger's voice in my ear, and maybe it's because she's lurking in the subways in New York. I don't know.
In that slip, yeah.
Yes, but there's just something so haunting about the melodies in that musical, and also I fucking love Andrew Lloyd Webber, and I love his bag of tricks, and I love that every song in Sunset Boulevard borrows his staccato sort of musical note thing that he always does, particularly in the second act of Phantom of the Opera. I'm just obsessed with it. And I feel like I grew to love Sunset Boulevard more weeks after having seen it. Like the music is stuck with me. The story stuck with me. I'm going to see it again. I think it's fantastic.
And also, there's the real ASMR quality to that, which is like a Jamie Lloyd standard. His version of A Doll's House is kind of like that, too. But that's part of what sticks with you, too. The fact that half of it is kind of whispered to you as opposed to belted.
Mm-hmm. Now, my question that I always have with this list is it's the 100 most influential people.
Right.
Some of these people, who are they influencing?
Right. It feels like certain, like, okay, like Joe Rogan is on this list. Okay, influential, for sure. In fact, that's all he's good for or bad for or whatever. Whereas
every white man doing a podcast wants to be him. He is he is the influence.
Right. Whereas Kristen Bell, influential. I mean, I enjoy her. She was great as the host of the SAG Awards, which I wrote. But also, and she's on that show with Adrian Brody, which, by the way, is perfectly watchable. But influencing, help me here.
Yeah, I would say Scarlett is influential because you know what? Besides just her acting, Scarlett Johansson has been very vocal about do not fuck with me with AI shit.
That has to be
She's
what
litigious.
this is about. Yeah,
she is very classic Hollywood, to be honest, because I know you love a litigious actress.
Oh yeah, no. When Betty Davis is like, actually, I'm going to run this whole guild. How about that?
Scarlett Johansson is giving. We will have fun biopics about her in the future, and I can't wait for the Asian part of the story.
Well, also, by the way, she herself has played a classic actress a time or two. She plays an Esther Williams-like woman in Hail Caesar, but also don't forget she plays Janet Leigh in the movie Hitchcock, which I think was a pleasurable little movie. It's about the making of Psycho.
I love Hitchcock.
Yeah, in which it's Mr. Anthony Hopkins and Miss Helen Mirren, and one of the mysterious 4-line roles that Toni Collette takes for some reason.
Is that their second link? That was their first link up, right? Before is Anthony Hopkins also in that movie with Helen Mirren where there were secret Nazi murders, or is that another actor I'm thinking of?
It does feel like that happens in all Helen Mirren movies that come out in April.
Someone is secretly a Nazi, and there are murders that are being uncovered.
When she was in that movie Winchester, she'll just take the check. She's like Winchester. Is that the butler? I don't know. Fine.
I'm very excited to see Brandon Jacob Jenkins on it. I have not seen Purpose yet.
I am going to get a ticket to that.
Fucking amazing.
He did that Sarah Paulson play Appropriate, which was, I thought, a really clever play because it was about what you thought was like a traditional squabble you see families have in plays where it's like, this sibling's on the outs. The dad's standoffish, and they like are consumed with these like petty family moments. And then you realize there's a huge problem in this family they're all not talking about. And the fact that the play illustrates that, like the real drama is what's not being said at all, is very clever.
Yeah, I think akin to our conversation about Sinners this week, Brandon Jacobs Jenkins is a amazing playwright who writes about race and interactions between white and black people in a really interesting way. And I also think he uses the constructs of theater in a very interesting way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure Purpose is fantastic. And like you said, Appropriate was really about, here's a messy white drama. It could have been August Osage County, right? But then the twist
it pretends to be August Osage County. Yeah, right.
Then it's something else.
Right. I would even compare that play a little bit to like The Zone of Interest. Like you're consumed with these petty family dramas on screen, but then you're like, wait, in the background, is that a concentration camp? Like what's really happening here? Yeah.
Our girl, Danielle Deadwyler, is on this list, which, thank God, someone is celebrating her.
I mean, also, she is just pure talent. I didn't see this. Apparently, she's in a not very good horror movie called like The Woman in the Yard or something. And by the way, if you're going to call a movie The Woman in the Yard, it better be about the making of the song Milkshake. It better be.
Let me tell you something. That bitch doesn't even stay in the yard.
She had what? It's in the title. I paid money to see The Woman in the Yard.
Why are you in the kitchen?
Liar, the lying woman. The woman should be called the lying woman. I met Danielle Deadwyler briefly at the SAG Awards, and the kind of person you have to tell. I had to tell. I was like, you're a genius. It's not just because of Till. It's not just because of Carry On, which you would think would be a thankless action movie role, where she is amazing in that. She just can do anything. Again, the piano lesson, a movie adaptation nobody talks about that had plenty going for it, namely her. And she does my favorite thing, which is making boring exposition somehow thrilling. I think that is the acting superpower. When you can do things like that, I'm blown away.
It is so interesting thinking about her career, just because she has this career that most amazing black actresses sort of have in the beginning. You're doing a lot of amazing work. you should maybe be nominated for, and yet you're not. It's giving Viola Davis's career before she joined How to Get Away with Murder. And it's just, TV is in such a weird place now where it's not like Daniel Deadweiler can hop over to ABC, get famous enough for people in the industry to care, and then come back and be Viola Davis. You know, I'm just so interested in where Danielle is going to have to maneuver to make people care.
But also, she is so inspirationally great that I assume people will write movies for her. I mean, I don't mean to say they. That is my hope and prayer. But also, it's funny you bring up ABC too. ABC literally picked up no new shows this season except one spinoff of a previously existing show. Man, oh man, like it's so hard to get on an original, interesting TV show. You know, we really rely on streaming for that now. It's like super grim out there.
Yeah. You would think a show like The Pit would be on network TV, and it would have been once upon a time.
Yeah, right. Which, by the way, I just finished also, and I assume it's that's going to be a big contender at the Emmys this year. Only a couple performances I'm a little dubious about. Maybe we'll get into that another week.
Keep It is brought to you by OneSkin. After testing the efficacy of more than 900 so-called anti-aging peptides, OneSkin developed the OS1 peptide, the first ingredient to reverse skin's biological age by reducing the accumulation of zombie cells, aka those dysfunctional senescent cells that speed up aging.
OS1 works at the cellular level to reduce visible signs of aging like lines, wrinkles, and sagging skin, and you can only find OS1 in OneSkin's moisturizers, sunscreens, and now in their latest product, OS1 Hair. The Daily Scalp Serum tackles those same zombie cells in your hair follicles and is perfect for anyone dealing with hair loss, thinning, or shedding, or if you just want thicker, denser hair.
Listen, OneSkin makes me look less like a zombie boy, to quote Lady Gaga.
Which has become one of my favorite songs on the album. So this is lucky for the both of you. I am always looking to have more luscious hair. I have what I consider to be Mattel hair. You know, it's rarely giving Elvis Presley is what I'm saying. And OneSkin is instrumental in making it look as fresh and chestnutty as you see. Founded and led by an all-woman team of skin longevity scientists, OneSkin is redefining the aging process with their proprietary OS1 peptide. Get 15% off with code KEEPIT at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code KEEPIT. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Invest in the health and longevity of your skin and scalp with OneSkin. Your future self will thank you.
Keep It is brought to you by Acorns.
Do you know when investing confuses me? Anytime I turn on CNBC, what are they talking about? Ma'am, slow down. The ticker is confusing enough alone.
Savannah, slow down. I don't even get investing from Monopoly, okay? What is Community Chest?
No, just put me right in jail. Honey, I see the guy behind the bars, and he seems more inviting than the Monopoly guy.
April is Financial Literacy Month, and I'm illiterate.
Yeah, I would say we're not on the right track towards understanding what money does or why we should be allowed to have it, specifically you and I.
Listen, they made a whole month reminding us to finally take control of our money, and good news is you don't actually need 30 days. Acorns makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future in just 5 minutes.
You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you and your money goals. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now, even if all you've got is spare change. You know what I like about Acorns? They make it an unthinking financial contribution. If it was something where I had to constantly be grabbing change and figuring out how to contribute it, it would stress me out. But Acorns makes it such an organic part of my life that it makes you feel more organized while you do less thinking.
And you can sign up now and join over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $25 billion with Acorns. Head to acorns.com/keepit or download the Acorns app to get started. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/keepit.
Anyway, back to this list.
The leaders are a collection of psychos. And
a Suicide Squad.
Speaking of Viola Davis, this is the new team that she's gathered to save the world.
She did a worse job this time.
I think that this is not shocking because, what is it? Every 3 weeks online, someone reminds you that Hitler was selected for the Time 100.
Or no, he was the person of the year. Yeah, right.
And it's a reminder that Time is not just celebrating these people, they're also writing about horrible people who are changing things in the world for better or worse. But Donald Trump, Elon Musk, J.D. Vance, Megyn Kelly, RFK Jr., come on. First of all, I'll go with the easiest one first. Megyn Kelly, that half is not influencing anything.
I know. She's just madder than ever. That's it. Yeah.
If anything, Megyn Kelly's influence is due to the fact that the media can't stop reporting on every inane thing that she says. Every racist, disgusting thing that she says keeps getting written about. Ignore her.
She is among the living worst, and I do believe they should all be ranked. That's a good list. Time, rank the 100 worst people. Let's go.
I don't know if you read that profile of her. I think that's a more appropriate use of writing about this woman. It's a profile of her which just reveals how much of a monster that she is.
Remember when we gave somebody an Oscar nomination for playing her in a movie? That was a mistake. I thought that's when the influence ended, by the way. I can't believe she's still on anybody's mind. I also
Wasn't that Scarlett too?
Yeah, no, it was Charlize Theron and
yes.
Margot Robbie and Nicole Kidman.
It feels like every blonde A-list actress was in that movie.
Yeah,
so
no. In fact,
if
you were blonde and not in that movie, you should be insulted. And I'm talking about you, Sarah Paulson. You should call somebody. Somebody else on this list that I find kind of puzzling just for this year, not that I don't love her, Kristen Wiig. They bring up that she's Maxine in Palm Royale. Definitely a show. I think some people watched it. Why is she influential? I'm not seeing it. We have a blurb here written by the fabulous Marielle Heller, who directed her in the movie Diary of a Teenage Girl. Pretty underrated movie. Otherwise, not really understanding why she's on the list.
I mean, she's why I still wear the wigs.
Oh, okay. You think she reminds people that wigs exist, and that's why she's on the list. I have to say, for that reason alone, she should be number one.
Well, Rosé is on the list, formerly of Blackpink, and she is a pioneer, even if just a pioneer in using the N-word.
But I feel like she wasn't the first. Do you know what I mean? Is it really pioneering?
Yeah. Pioneering for K-pop stars. I'm joking. I actually really enjoy Rosé. I honestly wish she had performed at Coachella instead of Jenny because, you know.
Though you had Lisa do. I thought Lisa was fabulous.
Oh, Lisa was fabulous. Even though I do sort of not love that apartment song.
Okay.
That Rosé sings with Bruno Mars. I love the part of it that sounds like the Ting Tings, and then the rest of it is not for me.
Did I already mention that I have completely come around on Fat, Juicy, and Wet? I'm so sorry it's so good.
Oh!
I'm so sorry.
You have?
I don't know what happened. Guys, I don't know what happened. It came on the radio or something recently, and first of all, you know Sexy Red and I are like this. Like, I'm down with Sexy Red. But then it's like...
You're Sexy White.
The Sexy Whitest. Please. Actually, I am Sexy Red. I am fucking sunburnt right now and wearing, like makeup like I'm Greta Garbo or Marlene Dietrich. Like, don't look too closely. But I think it's that Bruno's verse is repeated several times. That if you hear it once, twice, three, it's so TikTok oriented. You know, the song could be like 50 seconds long, basically. And I just got into it. I don't know. Now I listen to it all the time. It might be my most listened to song this past month.
Wow, how's the radio edit of that song?
I mean, what is it? I think it's probably just a drum. I have no idea.
Large, moist, and something.
Yeah,
I need the Kids Bop version of Fat, Juicy, and Wet. That would be fun.
Yeah, but you can't even say fat, right? What would it be? Rotund, educated, and fun.
Madam C.J. Walker?
Nikki Glaser is on this list. That makes sense to me, right? I think she's maybe the definitive stand-up comedian right now. And thank God, because that's rarely a woman.
Yeah, there are a lot of CEOs on this list, too. And I just want to say, if I were a CEO this year, don't put me on a list, baby.
You're already on a list. You know what I'm saying?
That's like that's like the list the principal would find in someone's locker
Yeah,
when
right.
we were in high school. Okay.
Don't make it any easier for the people to list you. Yeah, I
Were
have
you
to
ever
say.
on one of
Well, I mean,
those?
well, by the way, in terms of influence, it is a bit nefarious that Luigi Mangione is not on the list.
Yes. Where is he?
I mean, who would have guessed that someone like that would emerge? And I mean, it is about thought ultimately. You know, I think what people are obsessed with, in addition to him, you know, having the symmetrical eyebrows and all that.
First of all, we are going to be thinking about Luigi Mangione more than we'll be thinking about Luigi of Mario and Luigi
Oh, take that, bitch.
for years to come.
You said you don't
know?
like a tall man in overalls. You said, leave me alone, the characters of Harper Lee.
I prefer a short king.
Really?
You know, I like Mario. Luigi, are we sure he's even his real brother?
They do not seem related. I have to see that, like, to put it in Nicole Kidman terms, he's clearly an ectomorph. And I don't, yeah. I got to see the parents to believe this.
She used one of my favorite references to Luigi has always given me Lenny from Mice and Men.
He is what we used to call a big galoot.
Were you ever on one of those lists, by the way?
What do you mean?
Like the CEOs, like remember in our era, for people who don't remember, there was a specific time in American schools where kids were writing hit lists. That's what they did before they auditioned for American Idol.
Yeah,
That's how you got attention in high school. Post Columbine. Yeah, did your name ever appear on one?
it sounds like your name did.
No, it didn't.
Oh, it did. I was say
And that distressed me.
Oh, I see. You weren't even noticed enough. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
What can I do?
Yeah.
I've got star power. Was I ever? No. I'm trying to think of anything even. No, I did get 2 high school superlatives in the yearbook, if that's what you mean by a list. Most likely to win an Oscar and most likely to win a Pulitzer. Baby, I'm on my way.
For the Pulitzer?
I can't believe I was
You
an actor
barely
at one
read.
point. Yeah, no, I have to say. It's always crazy when people want to pressure you to write a book, and it's like, girl, I've got to relearn what that is, a book, what you just said.
Yeah, you're still hopping on pop.
Yeah. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, girl fish. That's me. Yeah.
Was there anyone that you would put on the Time 100 list who was influential this year?
Well, I'm just going to think about it from the entertainer's perspective. I am surprised that Kieran Culkin is maybe not on the list. I felt like he was so everywhere and now has dominated both TV and movies and people, and he's this hot draw on Broadway too. So that sort of makes no sense that he's not on the list.
And they've got enough despicable people on the list. I am shocked that Carlos Sofia Gascon is not on it.
Talk about a thought leader. And by that, I mean, what was she thinking?
She was the year's diva, okay? I am pretty sure that Pablo Larraín is going to take his trilogy and turn it into a, what's the word for 4?
Quadrology? Tetralogy?
Yeah, turn it into a quadrology because I need to see his Carla.
If only, I mean, like, just the Imagine universe of her taking a Lyft scooter to the Oscars. That's what I want. Because Netflix cut off her budget.
Being haunted by her tweets, like, you know, from a cell phone that's dead. She's still getting tweets to it. I want to see the horror movie aspect of this. I want to see her at the Oscars dramatized.
Yeah, right. Ryan Murphy. I'm sorry. Ryan Murphy is good for things like this. He should be equipped for this reason.
Yeah, but I need it to be a movie. You know, I need it to be a little more elevated.
Okay, sure.
And she should play herself.
I would assume she has the time. So,
how many people have done that, by the way? Played themselves in a biopic?
I know Joan Rivers and Melissa Rivers played themselves in a biopic about when Joan's husband Edgar killed himself, I believe. That's the only one that's coming to mind right now. So it's like that TV movie era where it's like it could be on network, but they needed something to put on Friday nights sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I want to see an era of people playing themselves in a biopic. Let's get more of that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It seems very Madonna biopic coded. By that I mean never going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, other side note about biopics. At a recent red carpet, Complex was asking actors who should have a biopic? You know, who's famous, important? Obviously, people were saying people like Beyonce, Madonna, etc. The amount of people who said Nina Simone, and the amount of people who said Nina Simone and also hinted that it's because of the blackface that Zoe Saldana did it. The other biopic.
They did know. They
we
did
need
know.
a real one.
Yeah. Okay.
We need a real one.
They've done the homework. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What happened, Miss Simone? Never a truer question.
That is still one of the wilder biopic things to me. So, yeah, I think we're in need of a real Nina biopic.
It should be called Goddamn, like the song Mississippi Goddamn, spelled the same way. That's my option. All right. When we are back, it's Keep It.
Keep It is brought to you by Planned Parenthood Federation of America. No matter what, your sexual and reproductive health decisions, including abortion, belong to you. Planned Parenthood organizations are fighting for common sense policies that protect our right to control our own bodies and futures, and keep personal health care decisions between patients and their doctors, not unqualified lawmakers. Nearly 80% of Americans want that.
The attacks on Planned Parenthood, our health care, our basic rights, they just don't stop. But you know what else doesn't stop? Planned Parenthood. The amazing staff and volunteers at Planned Parenthood health centers across the country do whatever they can to provide high-quality, affordable care to 2 million annual patients, no matter what nonsense some people in power try to pull. You can help. Donate to support Planned Parenthood at plannedparenthood.org/defend. That's plannedparenthood.org/defend.
Keep It is brought to you by Beam. What's keeping me up at night? Honestly, the fact that I have slept for 3 hours the entire Coachella weekend.
Well, you don't sound like it. I'm kidding. You know what's been keeping me up recently? The television series The Pit. I haven't watched a medical drama like this since, get ready, Grey's Anatomy. My God, it's addicting. And I honestly can't understand why, because everything that happens in that show is so harrowing.
I'm obsessed with 24 Meets the Hospital. I think that's why it's stressful. It's one day.
That's true. That's why I'm excited to tell you about something else that's truly changed the game for me, Beam's Dream Powder. Dream helps me sleep through the night, no more tossing, no more turning, and I wake up feeling refreshed, not groggy. It's become a must in my nightly routine, helping me recharge so I can get up and stay engaged in what matters most.
So what makes Dream so effective? Well, it's packed with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients that actually work. Reishi, known for its calming properties, magnesium, which supports deep, restorative sleep, L-theanine, an amino acid that helps you relax without feeling drowsy, apigenin, which supports falling asleep faster, and melatonin to help regulate your natural sleep cycle.
It's also just nice to drink something tasty before you go to bed, and you stir it in some warm water and sip it, and you feel luxurious like a woman in a yogurt commercial. And I sip it and go off to the sleepiest sleep of all time in my sheets that I'm currently obsessed with. And by the way, I'm not the only one. Beam's Dream Powder has improved over 17.5 million nights of sleep for people across the country. Here's the deal. Beam is giving Keep It listeners an exclusive 40% off. That's right, 40% off their best-selling Dream Powder, but only for a limited time.
All you need to do is go to shopbeam.com/keepit and use code KEEPIT at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/keepit and use code KEEPIT for 40% off. Because let's be honest, you can't stay in the fight if you're too tired to show up. Rest well, wake up ready, and keep pushing for progress. Rest is resistance. And we're back with our favorite segment of the episode. It is Keep It. Louis, what's yours?
Yes. My Keep It is retroactive because they actually just fixed the thing I was going to say keep it to, which is the Oscars are now requiring voters to, are you ready for this? Watch the movies before people vote in a given category. What were we doing before then? Just assuming that anybody with a membership to the Academy was like going to Blockbuster and like picking everything up in like a barrel and then watching them at home. I shudder to think how many people deserve Oscars for movie performances that they didn't get because people did not see them. I am absolutely talking about Miss Isabelle Huppert in Elle, the best performance of that year. No shade to Emma Stone. I just rewatched La La Land. Charming performance. Third place at best, mama. Sorry, absolutely not. If I hope this really has an amazing effect on the kinds of winners we get. I haven't been too disappointed in recent years with people who've won acting Oscars. Wait, sorry, I just was stricken with a heart attack because I remembered Jamie Lee Curtis. Never mind. There are some bad options, but the idea that people were potentially not seeing all these movies, there's that quote from Kirsten Dunst. She's asked if she saw if she saw the movies in a given year. She goes, yes, I'm a member of the Academy. I saw everything. That should be a very commonplace attitude, and yet it was completely out of left field that she said that. It's a little bone-chilling, actually, to think of how many films people just skipped over because they didn't care or whatever. I mean, if you're a movie lover, you should be obsessed with any movie that has any heat behind it. If people are talking about a movie, you should be interested in it. So I have to say, keep it to whatever the hell we were doing before this emerged. Though I have to say, I'm a little sympathetic to voters because it sounds like if you don't watch the movie on the Academy app, which is amazing for Academy voters, you can watch all the nominated films in one place at home. Then if you watch it at a festival or something, you have to provide documentation that you watched it. And I hate tax season, period. Like, don't make me print out a receipt, whatever. The idea that you have to remember to keep this shit together does seem a bit annoying.
Well, you know what? If you're voting for the most important election of the year.
Yes. Thank you, Ira. Brainwashed by me.
That you should have to. I think too many of these people just freestyle it.
Right, they vote. No, I think all the time about like the Emmys, for example. Like I'm in the late night category, and I'm like, oh, that'd be so amazing to win and one of these things. People are voting based on vibes. They're not like watching every episode of a late night show and then calculating who deserved it the most. And with the Oscars, you don't have to watch an entire television series. You just have to watch a movie. So it's not that much of an undertaking.
And how many times do we get those brutally honest ballots where someone talks about how they didn't even watch something? Right.
And that's their rad take, too. They're like, they think that like contributes to a point of view, not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I'm not an Academy voter, so sometimes I'll skip a movie.
Right. And once you're, invited to the big girl school, you will watch all the movies. And that's because I will buy a gun and make you do it.
Oh, you got pistols and whips?
I dress as Lara Croft for Halloween some days, sometimes.
All right. My keep it this week is actually more of a celebratory keep it.
Oh,
to be
we
honest.
hate this from you. Go ahead.
Yeah. A keep it up, if you will.
I remember that.
Someone snatched Homeland Security head Kristi Noem's handbag with $3,000 in it.
First of all, let me just do my Ice-T impression. Dog killer! Okay.
Girl, steal her bag every week, okay?
If that happened to her every week, like in a like that woman in the Marx Brothers movie, Margaret Dumont, just like getting like bamboozled every week.
People call her Ice Barbie, which is so funny to me because let me tell you something about this woman. Besides celebrating the fact that she killed her dog,
right?
She loves glamour shots.
All the time.
All the time. She's running around with blowouts. She's running around with her designer bags, taking photos in front of people who've been locked up and deported to other countries. She's just a vile woman. And I think it is the worst symptom of the Trump sphere of everyone being hired because they quote unquote look good for TV. It's like he's still hiring for The Apprentice, and everyone is making a show for him to watch. And it's like she's the lead on the Trump drama, and her bag being stolen is so embarrassing. It's more embarrassing, I think, to Trump than it is Pete Hegseth and his text that first of all, he was on Signal again, texting things to family members. Girl, what is going on with the group text situation here?
Let me just tell you something. I'm like a Butterfingers texter, and I will text the wrong thing to certain people at certain times. I should not be able to relate to the Secretary of Defense. That is simply bone-chilling. But I also want to say about Kristi Noem, she is always doing photo shoots, and routinely it's like sometimes she's wearing a hard hat, or sometimes she's a park ranger. It's like she's auditioning to be like a Getty Images model. She just wants to come up as any search term.
Yes. That's why they call her Ice Barbie. She's every version of an employee.
Right. No, and it always in the humorless expression too, and also it just cannot be understated how motherfucking dumb this person is. Like
Yes.
every excerpt from her atrocious book is laugh out loud funny.
Also, the $3,000 in cash in her purse, which was for treating her family to dinner and buying gifts. Sure.
$3,000. That sounds like something from literally Black Bag.
Okay, I need to know how many grams you were buying. Okay.
She was like, Coachella's coming. I got to buy it for me and the girls.
She was going to Weekend too.
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe she's going to Stagecoach. Actually.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. Bonnaroo maybe closer to her vibe. I don't know.
And $3,000. That must mean it's expensive, girl. Who is your condo dealer? Okay. Like,
Yeah.
let a girl know. And pass his number along.
Yeah,
you know
please.
That's why Pete Hegseth has Signal. He's the one who's doing the buying. But not just the bag being stolen, not just the $3,000 being in it. She had security with her.
Huh.
She had security with her at this restaurant where her bag was snatched. Girl, who was watching?
No, also, I mean, clearly an Ocean's 8 is occurring. A team of movie
this
stars.
Is just step one.
Yes.
This is just step one.
Oh, she was the
What are they
easiest mark.
heisting?
Yeah.
What
right.
are they heisting?
Oh, God. Well, I mean, it sounds like everybody in the Trump cabinet is very easy to bedevil. You know what I mean? They're all like bumblefucks. It's like Scooby-Doo villains.
Yeah, well, I can't wait till we get to the third act of this Ocean's 8 movie. You know?
Yeah. If Helena Bonham Carter appears in the 11th hour, I'd be thrilled.
Julia Roberts playing herself.
Oh, yeah. A great performance from Julia Roberts.
Yeah. Anything else to say about these goofy people?
They are the goofiest. I mean, there's a new documentary about a Goofy movie, and it's right in line. There's a theme this week.
I don't know if there are any power lines going on in these brains.
Yeah, and I don't think they know the works of Tevin Campbell, which is a huge part of a Goofy movie.
Oh, his best work.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I am so happy, by the way, that last thing I want to say, Disney, I guess, is canceling all their future live action movies.
And I would line up for them. I said, I need to see the armoire from Beauty and the Beast stand up like a man. I said it.
So if you want to do remakes and sequels, Disney, now that we're not doing this live action shit, give us a new Goofy movie.
Apparently, we could stand to have 3 or 4 more. Also, the look on Goofy's face, what is wrong with him? It's giving horny.
Goofy does always look like he's a little goony.
Yeah. Oh, no, not a Goonie movie. I've seen him. Yeah.
I've been in the Goon Troop.
No, moving on.
That's our episode this week.
Oh, my God. That might be our last episode. I'm so sorry. Yes.
Yeah, I hope Tina doesn't listen to this episode.
No, I think she may. She's going to stick with the daily today.
All right. That's our episode. Thank you to Tina Knowles for joining us, and we will see you next week. Hopefully.